Hello, guide dogs of the desert, and welcome to my video interview for my guide dog application.
Again? What did you say?
My lady. My lady.
What is the cause of blindness, and what can you tell me about your vision?
So, what caused my vision to go was a brain tumor. It was a malignant brain tumor that is called medulloblastoma, and I had it around the age of 9. The brain tumor itself, when we discovered it, was about the size of a grapefruit and was positioned on my brainstem. Because of the size of the tumor, it was causing fluid to build up in my head, and that was putting pressure on my optic nerves. So by the time they actually removed the tumor, the damage was already done, plus the chemotherapy and radiation didn't exactly help either. If you actually look at my optic nerves or an MRI scan, you can actually see that there is no blood flow to them. And I'm actually using cones and rods right at the bottom of the iris, so if you see me looking at you, it kind of looks like I'm looking above you, but really I'm looking at you because I'm using those cones and rods at the bottom of my iris. Basically, for my vision, is I'm really nearsighted. I have lost fields of vision, so I have almost no peripheral. It's very, very small amount of peripheral, very small. It's kind of like, wherever I look, I just look straight ahead. I can't really use my eyes to look around me. As well as that, I have very, very poor depth perception sometimes, and apart from that, it's just, I can't really see detail that much unless I use a magnifier or if I get really close to something.
What prompted you to apply for a guide dog now?
Well, I'm applying right now because my first guide dog, unfortunately, got really sick. His name is Sinbad, and after 2 years of service, because he was so sick, we had to put him down. So I'm trying to get another guide dog so that, I can continue living my life and doing the things that I need to do with the freedom that a guide dog does give. I have gone back to my cane, and I've noticed how slowly I walk and how small my steps are compared to when I was with a guide dog. How fast the guide dog was, and I've actually gone back to falling downstairs and walking into signs and having trees hit me in the face. It's not exactly a good feeling. It's a way of getting around. I've tried to do the best that I can. But still, there are those small moments of, I really need a guide dog.
Have you ever had a guide dog or attended a guide dog school?
Yes, I have had a guide dog. His name was Sinbad. He was a black Labrador retriever, and he was about 2 years old when I got him. And he was the best thing that ever happened to me. Not only because he gave me my freedom and independence beyond my wildest dreams, but he was also my best friend. He really was. Our bond was so incredibly strong, and absolutely loved him to death. And the school I actually got him from was Guide Dogs of the Desert, and to be honest, that's the only school I've actually been to. So yeah.
What is your reason for choosing guide dogs of the desert?
My reason for choosing guide dogs of the desert again is the first time I went to guide dogs of the desert. Noticed how hands-on you guys are. You know, you actually worked on us one on one, and that was like a huge relief for me. As I was a first timer and I needed to make sure that I could learn everything. But you guys have been so awesome from the beginning. You have been so loving and supportive in making sure that we get everything down right to the letter. But also, after what happened to my first guide dog, Sinbad, you guys have gone above and beyond with your support and everything. It was very unfortunate what happened to Sinbad with him passing away. But you guys have been beyond anything I could ever imagine. You guys just, it was so unexpected, and you guys were just doing everything that you could to just help in everything. And I could not ask anything more from anyone. And you know, I've actually done a lot of work for you guys as well with a bunch of fundraisers, and I just love the school. I really do.
Have you had mobility training?
Yes, I have had mobility training. My mobility training, I've actually had that training for about 17 years, from 1998 all the way to 2015. Basically, from when I was in elementary school, when I was just finishing out my 5th grade, started just learning what is a cane, how does it work. Junior high was learning how to walk from my school all the way to my house, and how to walk from my house to the grocery store. And then when it came to high school, I actually started learning how to take the bus, how to take the light rail train, as well as like how to get to the airport and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, then I did more training at the Foundation for Blind Children. I did an adult program there, and they had me do mobility. And basically, it was lessons how to get from my house to my school, to get to college, to get to my doctors, and all those important places, as well as making sure that, you know, the city bus, the train, and all that good stuff is actually been taken care of. My first teacher was actually named Jay Tasca. He was a mobility specialist for Scottsdale school districts. And then my second teacher was Tom Brew, and he worked at the Foundation for Blind Children. And he's actually they are actually both retired now, but I still stay in contact with them constantly.
Please describe your home conditions.
Okay, so I am actually at my house right now. This is the driveway. I actually live here with my mom and my pet dog, Pandora. She's a blue ticket coonhound. And we're just gonna go around the front. At the front of the house there is a gate. With my first guide dog, he could always tell me whenever we're approaching the gate when we're on our way home. And the front of the house here is just a little pathway. This is our storage room next to us. It's just a narrow pathway. To the right is the spare room. To the door in front of us, that's the garage. A little further down, we get to the front door, but over here is the gate. This gate is actually padlocked shut. We only open it on special occasions, and most of the time it is padlocked shut, so the dogs can't even get out, even if they want to. Over here is the front door, if I can find the handle. but I'm blind. What do you expect? Anyway, this is where I keep my canes. This right here is a closet. Not that interesting. And of course, we have my lovely pet Pandora. She's a blue tick coonhound, and she is nothing but a loving dog. She just loves to love people. She was best friends with Sinbad. Over here, this is my little memorial to Sinbad after he passed. That's our first pictures together. This is one of my favorite pictures with him and Puppet Lamb Chop in his mouth. That is the card you guys were so kind enough to give me. And of course, we have a little porcelain angel hugging a puppy. And the blue box is actually the ashes of Sinbad. I actually had him cremated. I couldn't exactly bear myself away from him. Over here is our kitchen. It's a very small house, in case you haven't noticed. There's a table. That tote right there is what I kept Sinbad's food in. The other one is for Pandora. Of course, it's just a normal kitchen, stove, sink, dishwasher, microwave, blah, blah, blah. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze over here, but this is the door to the backyard. This is a sliding door. Yes, I have walked into it several times because I look through glass like water. We have a patio table. We have a dog. Just a little sitting area. Of course, there's the pool. And up there is where Pandora would go to the bathroom. I never let the guide dog go to the bathroom back here. And yeah, just a swimming pool. And of course, we got a barbecue and all that stuff back here as well. Going back into the house, again, the kitchen. But if we go to the right, and then to the left, turn, there you go. We actually come down this hallway, and of course we have this lovely selection of teapots. This is what my mom has collected over the years, and I have no idea why I filmed this. Anyway, the first door you come to, this is the bathroom. The second door you come to is my mom's room. And the most important door of them all is my room. And you can tell it's my room because I actually have a little rack on the top of my door, and that's what I would hang all of the guide dog equipment on. Now, of course, this is our laundry, and I really don't like our laundry because of this door. When you open this door, it kind of takes up half of the hallway, and because of my lack of depth perception, I've actually hit these doors multiple times. And in case you haven't noticed, we only have one because the other one has broken because of me. So, yes. But anyway, that is the house, and I hope you guys have enjoyed.
Are there any other pets in the home?
Yes. Actually, I apologize. That's just me. I'm very sarcastic, very silly. But I only have the one dog, and that's Pandora right here.
Where do you intend to relieve your dog?
I actually do have a relieving area at the front of my house, and it is all just rocks, and that's actually where I used to take my first guide dog, and we would actually go out there and we would do our commands, and we would definitely, keep that up, because I would hate for him to lose that skill. But it was always at the front of the house, and it would just help me just to practice to, do what I have to do when he does his business.
Describe the types of areas where your dog will be working.
Okay, work environment and places that we're going to go. So the first thing is, go to church. There was actually, my church is actually just up the road from where I live. And we would walk there every Sunday, early in the morning, so it's nice and cool. Whether it's winter or summer, it's still nice and cool. And there are actually two ways to get there. I prefer the second way because that avoids me from going into the busy street area. And plus the entrance, you have to go into the church. You actually walk into a private road, and there are no sidewalks. The second way is actually going through the back entrance of where the church is, and that's a lot safer, and I prefer to go that way. And I taught my first guide dog how to do that, and he learned it in a heartbeat, and we had no issues. I'm also, believe it or not, a professional magician, and I do shows all over the place. I actually work at a magic shop, so going to the magic shop is one of the places that he will be going to a lot. And Sinbad experienced that as well, and we just had an area where he could just lie down on a bed, and I would give him food and water when it's time for him to have that, as well as an area for him to be relieved. One big thing, I am a huge anime and sci-fi geek. Seriously. Marvel Comics, DC Comics, all that kind of stuff. And I get really goofy around that time. Even my first guide dog, we went to Comic-Con and all these other conventions all the time. And they do get crowded. But it was never an issue for Sinbad. However, the one thing that I should say that that are at these conventions are escalators, elevators, and stairs. So that is probably something that we want to have the dog skilled in. Apart from that, he had no problem with that. As well as doing private magic shows. I always let my clients know that I have a guide dog, and I've never had a problem before. They were always welcoming. They were like, yeah, bring your dog. That's absolutely fine. But I have already thought this ahead of time. If they have a problem with the dog, then I would leave the dog at home and just go with my cane for that one day. But I can tell you, first and foremost, that he will never leave my side. Sorry. Another thing that we like to do is we like to go to the malls, the movies, and we take the city bus, we take light rail, we take trains, taxi cabs. We do everything. With my first guide dog, we try to get out as much as we can, because I hate being stuck in my house.
Prior to your training, Guide Dogs of the Desert works to expose the dog to various environments it may encounter in their new home. Please describe any unusual areas that you frequently go.
I don't really take him to unusual areas. The only unusual thing is going to conventions. They're just really crowded, and just surrounded by the smell of food. That's pretty much around it. People in costumes. That's pretty much it. That's the only unusual place I usually go to. Pretty much everywhere else is normal. I think the only other place I could go to that's a little bit unusual, I would say, are game stores. They're just normal stores, but they're just full of games. That's about it. And I also guess airports. I do like to travel, so maybe airports would be I would say an unusual place.
Do you volunteer or work at a location outside the home?
I actually do some volunteer work, and I also do have a job outside of the house. Volunteer work, absolutely no problem going to the bathroom. There are always grass areas or dirt areas for him to use. There are always trash cans for me to throw away his business. I always carry extra bags with me, extra dog food, extra water. And he's always by my side, and never let him wander or anything. With my previous guide dog, same thing with the new one, when and if I got one. Same thing with my work. My work absolutely loved Sinbad, and he was more than welcome to come to the store. And basically, I just had a little bed area for him to just lie on, and gave him a little nylabone. And there was a dirt area just outside the store that we could go to the bathroom, trash bin nearby, so I could throw away his business. Always carry food and water on me. Depending on how long I'm there for the day, I would always carry extra food, extra water with me every single day.
Guide Dogs of the Desert has modified training for clients with a variety of health conditions. Is there any health information that you think we should know about?
I just have allergies. That's pretty much about it. You know, I have allergy pills. Apart from that, I'm just allergic to cats and to horses. That's about it. But if I'm around horses, as long as I've taken allergy pills ahead of time, I'm absolutely fine. Apart from that, that's about it.
Are you able to administer your own medications or insulin?
Yes.
Guide Dogs of the Desert primarily uses Labrador retrievers and standard poodles. Do you have a breed preference? If so, why? And are you open to other breeds?
When it comes to the dogs and their breeds, I do have to say I would not like a black lab again. Mostly because I think it'd just be too painful for me to have another black lab because it would remind me too much of Sinbad. Other than that, chocolate lab is absolutely fine. I would love a yellow lab or a German Shepherd. I would love one of those two, or a golden retriever, any of those breeds. However, I am not a poodle guy. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did. I'm just not a poodle guy. In case you haven't noticed here, I don't have any hair. So I don't have any poodle frou-frou. So yeah, no poodles, please.
Both males and females are neutered and make equally good guide dogs. Do you have a gender preference or are you open to either? Please explain your reasons if you have a gender preference.
I am actually open to either, whether it's male or female. However, I do feel that a male would be better because my dog here, she is female, and her and Sinbad got along so well. She loved him. He loved her. It was fantastic. I just think having another girl around the house would make her and the other dog really jealous between each other. That's my own opinion, but I will leave that decision up to you. Whatever is best, it's your choice. I'm leaving it up to you.
Other than understanding basic guide work, please describe the 3 most important traits you need in your guide dog.
I think the most important thing, especially for me because I go to a lot of conventions, is being able to work on the escalators. I think that's the most important thing. Just making sure that he's trained in everything else. Just escalators. Sorry, is the most important thing. Apart from that, just being able to find elevators, stairs. Just really being aware around cars is a big one.
When your dog is not working, what personality traits would you like to see in your dog and why?
When he's not working, he or she is not working, I want them to be really full of energy, fun-loving, wanting to play, and just walk up to someone and just give them a big old hug, just for no reason, just to say, hey, I love you, and just to hug, and just also wanting just to be willing to work, just grabbing the hardest handle, and then they just jump up for joy, oh my god, we're working now. I want them to be just like me. I'm funny, I'm sarcastic, I'm ready to work at a moment's notice whenever I'm needed, and yeah, I mean, I just that'd be great. Yeah.
Are you willing to allow the trainers at Guide Dogs of the Desert to ultimately pick the right dog for you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. No question about it. I mean, you guys made the right decision last time, so I'll trust that you guys will have the right decision this time. But I stand firm and foremost. No poodles. I struggle with these things. Did you record that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that needs to be on. I hate signs that stick out like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Filming walking and talking.
Walking.
And talking. Walkie talkie. Walkie talkie.
This is not going on the video.
Are you sure?
Why are you doing it that way and then that way?
Because I got a good picture of you.
Oh, okay.
Walking and talking.
There's a thing there.
There is a thing there.